When a breakup happens and an ex-partner moves on, it can come as a massive shock to the system. Your mind can start asking a lot of questions. How long has this been going on for? Was this going on during the breakup? How did they manage to move on so quickly? Did they not love me? It can bring up a lot of emotions: anger, heartbreak, frustration. And your mind can start to wonder, what can I do about this? So in this video, I'm going to break down the real reasons why your ex moved on so quickly. But I'm also talking about what you can do about it and how you can use this to your advantage. It's totally understandable to feel confused right now. If your ex-partner has started seeing other people, started dating around, or maybe they've been seeing someone for a while, maybe there's been an affair happen, it's understandable to feel lost and confused. Oftentimes, this can come out of nowhere, and suddenly it can start to shift your view of your ex-partner. But if you're wanting to reconcile the relationship, you can be left with questions like, do I even bother trying anymore? Are they just a cheater? Our brains can go into panic mode, and we can make a lot of mistakes, especially if we're trying to repair the relationship. The first mistake is overanalyzing the decisions. There's a lot of people that fall into the trap of obsessing over their ex's new relationship. They start to fill in the blanks with their own answers. But this fixation not only drains your energy, but it also keeps you from focusing on your own healing, on your own growth. The more that you obsess over what your ex is doing and their relationship, the less you self-reflect, the less you grow, and the less chance you have of being able to reconcile any sort of relationship with your ex-partner. The second mistake is romanticizing the past. It can be easy to fall into the cycle of reminiscing about the good times whilst ignoring the real reasons for the breakup. This distorted view creates false hope and it delays your growth. Again, it keeps you tethered to this relationship that isn't there right now. The third mistake is assuming that they're just in a rebound relationship. A lot of people believe that their ex's new partner is simply a rebound, some temporary distraction. This may be true, this may not be true, but ultimately, what you've got to understand is that the feelings that your partner has right now are real. They're not fake. They're not in this relationship for any other reason, but they feel like this is appropriate for them right now. They're reclaiming their power. It's important to understand that they have full autonomy over what they do right now. The more that you focus on what your ex is doing and whether or not this is some temporary limerence or rebound relationship, the less you focus on the right things, on the important things. This mindset can prevent you from acknowledging that your ex may be genuinely moving forward. Focusing externally can stall your own emotional recovery. But the biggest mistake of all is using tactics, scripts. Some people resort to guilt, trying to guilt their ex-partner into coming back to them, or trying to make them jealous by starting to date around themselves, or trying to get pity to win their ex back. They think these ideas, these strategies will reignite the interest in them, right? But let's be real, manipulation and trying to use emotions to control what your partner does, this erodes trust and ultimately it backfires. It pushes your ex further and further away. If you think about it, if they're in a relationship right now, they're seeing somebody else and they're moving forward, if you're trying to pull them back through emotional manipulation, then it's just going to push them further and further away. And that's why I've spoken about no contact before in the past, trying to use no contact to get your partner to miss you. If they're in a relationship right now, they're not going to miss you. All it's going to do is prove to them that you're not emotionally mature enough to be able to handle them being in a relationship with somebody else. And it's going to push them further and further away. And ultimately, the consequence of all of this, if you fall for all of these mistakes and continue down this path of overanalysis, blame, you're going to risk prolonging your own pain and causing more and more damage between you and your ex-partner. Not just for reconciliation, but for providing any sort of relationship whatsoever. You're going to miss the opportunity to not only build a relationship from the ground up with your ex, but also your own personal growth as well. The longer you stay stuck in these patterns, the more and more difficult it comes to build a fulfilling life for yourself, but also to be able to overcome and heal the discords within the relationship that you have. Ultimately, if your ex has moved forward, this is an important, empowering step for them. The more that you try to control it, the more that you try to have an impact on what they're doing, the less likely they are to be A, attracted to you, and B, to want to reconcile a relationship. Because you're telling your partner that you don't care about their happiness, you only care about their happiness if they're with you. So it's really important to understand that they need the autonomy to be able to make their own decisions. But right now you may be thinking to yourself, but I don't agree with their decision. I don't agree with them moving on. This is not going to help our relationship. Should I just lie about it? Should I just pretend that I'm okay with it? Well, no, you don't need to pretend that you agree with it, but you need to support your partner making their own decisions right now, whilst also concentrating on becoming the best option possible. If your partner is in another relationship right now, you can't control what your partner does. So the only way to maximize your chances of reconciling with your partner is to focus internally. In focusing internally, there are two main things you need to think about. One is outgrowing the competition. Even in the healthiest relationships, the threat of other potential partners never goes away. There will always be other people around. So focusing on how much you grow is really important. You can't sit and stagnate. You always need to be making sure that you're doing whatever you can to become the best version of yourself, right? If this were a business, you can't sit there and hope that other people don't release a better product. You need to constantly be in research and development. You need to constantly be growing what you're doing. And this is the same with relationships. Other products, other people will never go away. So the focus always needs to be on creating the best product, the best version of you. So the questions you need to ask yourself is, how can I improve? How can I grow? How can I become the best version of myself in order to become the best partner for the next relationship that I'm in? The more that you focus on that, the higher the likelihood of reconciling with your ex-partner is. But the other thing to focus on is outlasting the competition. If you're able to continually focus on your growth, make it a lifestyle, then it doesn't really matter whether your partner is in another relationship or not. If you're constantly growing and you're focused on that, and you're making sure that this is part of your lifestyle, then give your partner the 100% freedom and support in pursuing that relationship. Because ultimately, you cannot control what they do. You cannot control your customers. If you're a business, you can't control a customer buying another product. You know, if you think about like Temu and Shein, a lot of people will go through buying those things, and some people will be happy with those products. Other people will see that they're not that good quality and they break and they have to replace them. But over time, if you're focused on creating the premium brand product, then eventually if your partner decides that this relationship that they're currently in isn't working, it's not that good quality, and maybe that they don't want to pursue it anymore. If you're focused on creating the best quality product, then all you have to do is continue to outlast the competition. You continue to become the best option. And over time, without pressuring your ex, leave the door open for them to come back to you if they choose to. This is outlasting the competition. This shifts your focus onto everything that you can control. And this stops you focusing on useless external things that you can't control. You can't control what your ex-partner does. You can't control the person that they're seeing right now. The more that you try to persuade and push your ex-partner to make a decision that they don't want to make right now, the less likely you are to reconcile. The thing is, this moment in time is a really crucial opportunity to be able to skyrocket your growth. A lot of us don't realize how much we can grow until a situation like this happens. And we have an opportunity to either lean into it and become the best version of ourselves, or we shy away from it and we pretend that we don't need to grow and we just sit there and wallow and be angry and bitter. You know, if your ex-partner's moved on, it's normal to feel a little bit hurt and have your ego damaged a little bit. But this can also be an opportunity to sit and think to yourself, what can I do better? What can I do to grow myself? What does this person have that maybe I don't or haven't provided for a little while? This is not about copying somebody else. This is about looking at your blind spots and the holes in your own process to say, you know what could I do? What can I do to improve myself? The more that we realize how much we can be missing, the more that we can see all the potential within ourselves to grow. And this can be a perfect opportunity to do it. And this is, what I work on with my members. A lot of them come to me and they feel at a loss. They feel like they've lost everything. But they start to, over time, see this as a massive opportunity, not only to grow themselves, but also to be able to start reconnecting with their partner, to be able to start leaning into conversations that they've never had. And a lot of my members, as they start to reconnect with their partner, start to see the potential of this new version of the relationship. Once they start to look at their own blind spots, their partner starts to see the potential in the relationship as well. Because the members have relinquished control over trying to control whether their ex is in a relationship or not, and starts to focus on what can I do to grow and what can I do to grow this relationship. And if you do want to join me and my members, then sign up for the free relationship bootcamp, where you'll learn the same steps and tools that all my members have used to start turning their relationships around, finding those blind spots and developing those crucial skills to build future healthy relationships. Just click on the link in the description to grab your spot. Reconciliation is a slow but steady process. And it's important to understand the steps as they go. So even if your partner is within a relationship right now, understanding that as you reconcile, there needs to be foundations built, and this comes in stages. So I've actually done a deeper dive video on the stages of reconciliation, which I'll link to on the screen. But ultimately, understanding each stage of repair is really crucial so you can navigate it in the right way. So I'll leave you with that video, and I will see you over there.